What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show. Custom Snarl. What is this? Custom action figure review? Yes. So, here's what we're doing. This, I thought, was going to be pretty cool. This is Transformers Age of Extinction, the 4th movie, Deluxe Snarl. And it is hideous. I mean, look at, like, the what they call chrome. There's the translucent green, there's the ugly green, it's just ugly. So what I'm trying to do is bring it back to, like, even the Power Master version was a lot better. They gave it some bright yellow and like a shade of brown, brownish green. I can't really make that out. Looks brown to me. Maybe green. Like a brownish green. Whatever. But it looks better in comparison to the crap. This looks like Batman Beyond from like 1995 or something. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to restore the Generation 1 look. Now, if you pay attention, or compare the two, I should say, like I started with his weapon here, and I gave it the brass color. The brass shines a little nicer than the gold does. So I went brass instead of nasty green. And then, if you take a look here, this is what I'm trying to do. I haven't painted his head yet. See, the head there is still that whatever color it's supposed to be. But I gave him the Generation 1 look, you know, with the gold chrome. I have the brass coloring as that. The gray arms and legs, and I got a red body, and I'm looking to do black in the end. Black is going to cover his fists, his helmet, and his waist behind here where it's still green. And it's just, I don't know, I feel it's just better. I feel this color scheme is just poor, and I don't really know, like, how that goes into effect. Like, who gets the privilege to say that this is okay to put on the shelf? Like, yeah, just make it hideous. Like, really? Like, who wants to buy that? I was saying from Toy Hunter like 100 years ago that if I ever got this, I would just get it and paint it. Well, I got one for Feisty Pants. He loves playing with it, even the Power Attacker version, which is fine. I approve of these colors. But this is gross. I'm like, no, there's no way. So, in my hunt for junk heap at the Marshall stores and everything else that it's popping up at, they had the extra Snarl, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll buy that for $6 and paint it. So that's what I'm doing. Now, a couple of you guys have asked, what makes me, like, how do I paint my stuff? I have Testors enamel paint. Here's the Tester brand logo. They look like these little jars, and they make like a million colors. I get them at Michael's, and what I do is I look at Transformers that they make now, and I'm like, who can I paint that into, or who does that look like if I gave him a different color scheme? And in this case, it looks like Snarl, Generation 1 Snarl. This is Transformers 4 Snarl in the butt ugly colors, and this is Generation 1 Snarl in the Generation 1. And that's pretty much how that works. I just give it a, I give it a like a who does this look like kind of look. And I'll sit and I'll look at some guys, and like there's others that I've made in the past. I'll see if I can link some here and there throughout this video, or maybe I'll link the extras in the comments. I take a look, and it's like, well, who can I make this? And sometimes I have favorites. Like everybody knows I love Sideswipe and Sunstreaker. So anytime I can make a Sideswipe or Sunstreaker, I go for it. Usually there's one or the other. Like throughout all the Michael Bay movies, there's been a Sideswipe but never a Sunstreaker. And I've always grabbed an extra Sideswipe to paint a Sunstreaker. This time around in Combiner Wars, they're making Sunstreaker but no Sideswipe. So I need to pick up an extra breakdown. In fact, I don't see them on the shelf anymore, so if anybody sees an extra breakdown, send it to the fan mail, and I'll send you something back. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish off. I have it mostly going here. What I need to do is I need to finish the other leg gray. I need to finish the other arm gray. And then I need to get the black, and I need to do the helmet, the two hands, and his legs, the top of his legs there, the thighs. So we're going to do the rest of this video how I sit and paint this this custom Snarl. Stand by while I set up the camera. Okay, so I got my jar of gray here, and we're going to finish off his other leg, which is a lot. I mean, it's got to cover the whole outside, the whole inside, and it's going to cover his foot. If you kind of look at his other leg here, I covered a lot there, but that's ultimately what we're looking to go for. And it looks like I can touch up a little bit more, actually. Wow. I just get a little bit, and I just throw it on there. And, you know, it happens. Sometimes you gotta go a couple of coats. What it's pretty strategic, I think, is the hardest part of the whole painting these guys, and every guy that I have, is where to hold the guy when I'm painting him. Because, like before I picked him up, I grabbed his other arm here, and I guess the brass wasn't completely dry, and I now have brass fingerprints, which is fine. I mean, it comes off in the in the sink, but ultimately you're not looking to paint your fingers. All right, that looks a little better. And see, if you look underneath, under here, that's all gray. So I got to turn the inside and the outside gray, and I got to get around on his shoulder joints. Right, yeah. And I mean, why do I do it? I mean, it's a hobby for me. Years ago I wanted to apply to Hasbro for action figure design. I mean, I can't say that you needed to know somebody, but I think it helped if you knew somebody. Alright, there's that. I think we can get in there. It should be. And you know what? Feisty Pants is pretty good about this stuff. He says it doesn't have to be perfect, Daddy. Yeah, I'm the perfectionist that goes, in the nooks and crannies. He just wants to play with these guys that resemble something a little closer to the G1. People have asked if I take these guys apart to paint them. I have, and I usually don't, but I have taken some bots apart. Here I see an Optimus Prime that combines with his trailer to make Super Optimus Prime, and then he's got ports for Minicons, and I see 4 race car Minicons. And what that says to me is I can make that into the Stunticons. Now, the Stunticons weren't around at the time, not in Armada. Right away from my Generation 1 days, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer. So I got an extra Optimus Prime. I got the Minicon team, race car team or something like that, and I got another Minicon that was a race, not a race car, but he looks like drag strip. You guys check out the video, you see it, and it's like, oh my god, I could totally make this into the Stunticons. And sometimes it's as easy as that. Other times I made I took Armada Blur, and he had a feature that his Minicon would allow him to open up the sides of his car into wings. And I'm like, okay, well, who is a fancy futuristic sports car with wings? Trax was a Corvette, and he had a flying mode where wings would shoot out from under the sides of his car. So I made that work out pretty well. And instead of the Minicon that he came with, I got one of the Naval Defense Minicons, and I painted a sea spray to go with it. It's pretty cool. And actually, I had a fan thought it was so awesome that they bought it off me. for a couple of bucks, you know. I don't charge a fortune, but I at least charge the cost of the figure and then the amount of time that I put into it. If you, somebody asked me if I could paint a, Blitzwing, a Generations Blitzwing into the other Duocon. The Duocon? Is that? Oh, wow, I don't remember. It was in my BotCon coverage video, and he left the question in the comments, and he's like, hey, can you paint, the other Duocon? I want to say it was Blitzwing he asked me about. And I said, I absolutely can. If you send me a Blitzwing, I'll paint it and send it back to you. And then I never heard from the guy again. But check out that video. That's where you want to see. And I will. If you guys are interested, you know, let me know what you want, and just supply me with the figure, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I charge you. You know, obviously, if you guys have the figure, I'm gonna charge you less. You know, because that way I don't have to go buy the figure myself. But let me know. I don't mind painting. You know, Feisty Pants has a ton to play with. One guy takes me about a week. You know, with everything I have going on between work and Feisty Pants and laundry and food shopping and back to school shopping and everything else. And making the web show. Can't forget making the web show. But yeah, I'd say on the average, you know, one guy takes me about a week. So if you want, hit me up. We can talk before you send anything, of course. And I can let you know. And this is taking forever. Holy crap. But that's what it is, you know what I mean? It takes forever. It's not, I can't just throw a bunch of paint on there. To me, it has to look authentic.